Hi, thank you for applying with Duerksen and Associates. It's important that you and all of our tenants watch this video as we review the application process to prevent any delays in that process. You and your co-signers, if any at all, will receive a full copy of the renter's agreement to e-sign. Today I'll go over the important highlights of the agreement to make sure we're all on the same page. After everyone in your household signs the agreement, a final copy will be posted to your tenant portal. If they have any questions about the renter's agreement or any questions during tenancy, please contact our office. We'll be happy to help. Now let's get started. The rental agreement overview is a document we have created for you as a quick reference. Keep this handy, you might need it at a later date. The first page of the rental agreement goes over who's approved to live in the home, the home's address, and the vehicle information. It's important that this information stays up to date, and it's your responsibility to notify us when these things change. Rent and other monthly charges are explained on the first page and are due on the 1st of every month. There is a grace period until 5 p.m. on the 5th of the month. Anything after that, a $100 late fee will apply. You can pay rent directly through the tenant portal, and that'll be free if you use an e-check. But if you use a debit or credit card, a small fee will apply. The security deposit amount is listed for your convenience and needs to pay prior to moving in and picking up your keys. Each resident of the home is jointly responsible for paying rent, the home's condition, damages, finance, and performance obligations. Fixed term. A fixed term is usually about 1 year. It's listed halfway down on the right-hand side of the agreement. It's important to understand when signing a fixed term agreement like ours is that you're responsible for the entire term. We do not offer a breakless fee. That means when you're signing our agreement, you're agreeing to pay the whole term regardless if you move out early. At the end of your current fixed term, we will offer you the options to renew or vacate prior to the lease expiring. Month to month. If your rental is on a month-to-month agreement, you can submit a 30-day written notice at any time through your tenant portal. Please keep in mind that the 30-day notice applies to everyone in the household. If you'd like to make a roommate change, that's a different process, and we'll go over that in a moment. On the second page, we explain that smoke and carbon monoxide alarms are there for your safety and need to stay intact. If they're tampered with or disabled, a $250 fee will apply. Please check your smoke and carbon monoxide alarms regularly. Change the batteries if needed. You can submit a maintenance request to the online tenant portal if they're not working with fresh batteries. We just want you to be safe. Next, we'll see the utility responsibility information. It is your responsibility to set up your utilities and provide us with those account numbers prior to moving in and picking up your keys. You'll receive instructions on what utilities to set up and how to connect them with your renter's agreement. This section also defines who's responsible for the yard care. We expect the lawn to be looking nice and mowed at all times, regardless who is responsible. We appreciate you keeping the exterior home looking nice. You're required to have renter's insurance. We're not personally responsible for your belongings or damages to them. If you would like additional services, such as fire or theft, you can do so through the same agent you get your liability policy from. We require each resident to have $100,000 of liability insurance. You all can be listed under the same policy or separate policies, but you all must be listed on your own policy. You can choose any company you would like to do this, or you can go through your tenant portal and go through a company we recommend, Roost. There is no smoking allowed in our rentals. This includes smoking, vaping, marijuana in or outside the home. It's your responsibility to make sure your guests adhere to this rule. If we find smoking in your rental, the damages needed to repair will be deducted from your security deposit when you move out. Now let's take a look at the next 3 pages and go over the fine print. I will go over things that apply to you the most, but we recommend reading the agreement to make sure you understand all your responsibilities when renting from us. Animals. If your rental is not pet friendly, it will say so in the renter agreement. If you live in a pet-friendly home, all animals must be pre-approved with the proper documentations, forms, and all deposits paid prior to them moving in. All dogs must complete a doggy interview before moving in. We do not allow animals to visit our rentals. Only pre-approved ones may enter. If you bring an animal temporarily into your home, you'll need to sign an animal agreement. In that agreement, you're stating that that animal may not deposit waste anywhere on the premise. If this should happen accidentally, you need to pick it up immediately and dispose of it properly. Care of the premise. You'll keep all areas of the premise clean, safe, sanitary, and free of accumulations of garbage, rubbish, debris, vermin, and rodents. Once you get the rodents and vermin, it's really hard to get them out, plus it's just gross, so please use the trash and recycling appropriately. There are no barbecues or fire pits allowed on the premise, and they're not allowed to be stored on the balcony or porches. Plus, the fire department does not allow these items to be stored on the balcony or porches. Use of and charges to the premise. You'll use all electrical, plumbing, heating, and all facilities in a responsible manner. You will not make any changes or addition to the premise in any nature. You agree not to destroy, damage, or remove any part of the premise or permit someone to do so. you'll assume all reliability for anything above ordinary wear and tear. Repairs or maintenance of damage caused by you or cleaning above the ordinary wear and tear will be billed and subcontracted by us starting at $45 per hour. Do not hire your own contractor. You are responsible to pay for any damages caused by you or your guests immediately. You will not attach any signs, insignia, air conditioners, antennas, or satellite dish or any other devices to the exterior or interior walls, windows, fencing, or roof without written consent. Security deposit. Part of your security deposit is a floor cleaning return deposit. Once you move out, we'll have the floors professionally cleaned. And if there's any money left over, that will be returned to you with the rest of your security deposit. When processing your security deposit, we'll send out one check postmarked 31 days after your move out. If there is a roommate change, that person's portion of the security deposit does not get returned. This means the security deposit stays with the home until the last original tenant moves out. Locks. If you lock yourself out of your rental, we do not consider this an emergency. If it's during business hours, we can provide you with a key. But if it's outside business hours, you'll have to contact your locksmith and you'll be responsible for their fee. We recommend having a spare key made. You can change the exterior door locks at any time through our locksmith, but you may not have any interior door locks added at any time. Conduct. We expect you to always be a good neighbor. Quiet hours are from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. We ask you to be mindful of how sound carries in and outside of your home and courtesy to your neighbors. No parties are allowed. You can absolutely have guests over, but if the police come to your residence on a noise complaint, that can be grounds of termination of your agreement. Parking and use of vehicles. If there's a parking lot, the renter agreement will specify the parking policy. If there's not a parking lot, all parking is on the street. We ask that you never park your vehicles on the lawn. All visitor parking is street parking. We ask that all vehicles are properly tagged and in working order at all times. No vehicle storage is allowed, not even in your driveway. This includes, but not limited to, RVs, boats, trailers, and other recreational vehicles. Next, we'll move into the renter agreement addendum. Letter E, the circuit breakers are never to be flipped unless it's an emergency. You agree to keep the thermostat at least 60 degrees Fahrenheit. We live in the Pacific Northwest, where mold and mildew love to grow. So in your contract, we have created preventative measures to keep the temperatures above the ideal growing conditions. If you see anything you suspect to be mold, you can submit a maintenance request to the online tenant portal or call our office. Maintenance will provide you with troubleshooting steps. If that does not cure it, we'll send someone out to your rental. Letter F. Space heaters are only to be used as a temporary solution provided by us. They're harming the electrical system, more expensive for you, and a fire hazard. Please use the home's heat under all circumstances. Letter I. Your move-in checklist is due 15 days after you move out. You can drop that in our Dropbox or email it to us. It'll be used when we process your security deposit return. Letter K. No alterations of any kind will be made to our rentals, not even painting. You can hang pictures on the walls, but do not use an excessive size or number of holes. Do not use command strips on the drywall. This causes damage that will be deducted from your security deposit. Do not fill any holes when you move out. We'll do this as preparing your rental for the next tenant. There's additional information in the addendum, so please take time to review that now. Letter N. Beware that candles may discolor walls. Any damages or paint needed to fix that will be deducted from your security deposit. Letter P. All entry areas into our rentals, including balconies, decks, patios, the yard, are not storage areas. Any area visible to the outside must be kept neat, clean, free of clutter, trash, laundry, furniture, dead plants, empty boxes, etc. You may use outdoor furniture if it's designed to be outside. You cannot use your old couch, for example. Letter U. You're responsible for keeping the patio, walkway, and yard free of accumulation of weeds, moss, and debris. You'll properly cultivate, care for, and water the grounds, lawn, and shrubbery. You will also be responsible for keeping the lawn mowed at all times. Letter Y. No temporary structure is allowed. This includes, but not limited to, trailers, tents, shacks, barns, trampolines, bounce houses, climbing structures, hot tubs, pools, and fire pits. Double E. You're not allowed on the roof at any time. The only habitable sleeping areas are the designated bedrooms. We understand this was a lot of information, so please bring your questions to the up-and-coming application review meeting. If you're approved as a tenant, we'll email you a full copy of the rental agreement to e-sign. You'll gain access to the tenant portal, and we will email the next step checklist in order to prepare you for picking up your keys. Your security deposit and signed rental agreement is due back 3 days after your approval. Remember, you can easily pay your rent and submit a maintenance request to the online tenant portal. We try to make it easy for you when accessing what you need in the tenant area of our website. Thank you for watching this video. We appreciate you taking time to learn more about your renter's agreement and how to be a successful tenant. We look forward to meeting with you and welcome home.